Hello everyone, this is Sasu Hope. I am going to give everybody a couple more minutes just to see, that you guys are signing in okay. Yay, it worked this time. That means, no hassles with technology, and I'm super excited about that. And as you guys are coming in, just give me a shout out in the Hangout page. So let me just check real quick that this is working, that you're able to see me. And you're able to see me, great. So I see myself, so that means that you guys should be able to see me. And just like I said, give me a shout out in the comment section and just let me know that you're here. Let me know that you can hear me, so that we can get started. I'm gonna probably start around in a minute or so, just to give everybody just a couple more minutes to join in. So like I said, if you're here and everything is looking good, just go into the comment section, which should be below this video, and just say, hey Sasu, how are you? Or whatever you want to say, so long as I know that you're here. I'm super excited because really, this is like last week. Hi Marissa, I see you. Awesome. And last week we had a little bit of a thing with the technology, and it didn't work. I've never really had an issue. Last month we crashed the server. So that's because there were too many people on the line, which is always a good problem to have. But this month we had an issue with Hangouts just was not working. So I was really frustrated. And I'm like, fuck, what the hell is going on, So anyways, thank you. If you were here last time, and you made it this time and you weren't able to hang on last time, but you're making it here now, thank you for your time, really, because this is what it's all about. It's all about time, and really the amount of time that we have and how we choose to give our time, and that's really, really important. There's quite a few of you on the line right now. It's already 12:03 Eastern time, so I'm going to get started because I don't want to waste a single moment. I really do want to honor your time, like I said, so I want to make sure that we cover absolutely everything that we can so that you get the most out of this. So what is this? You're here because you want to learn how to sell up to 17 or even more discovery sessions in 60 minutes, okay? Even if you don't have a list or no one has ever heard of you. So that you can start January with your first 10K month, 10K week, 10K sale. Whatever it is, wherever you're at, welcome, okay? What does that mean if you don't have a list or no one has ever heard of you? Most of the people that are here and that are actually watching are absolutely new people to me. I use my strategy and I have a very small list in comparison to a lot of other people that are making about the same amount as I'm making, and this does not stop anybody. I've had clients that go from having no list to making 10K very quickly by using some of the things that I'm going to be talking about today, okay? So nobody really has to know you. You just have to learn how to present yourself and know exactly what you're doing online, okay? And that leads to making whatever you want to make. It really has no impact on that. Now, I want to give a little bit of a pre-call instructions, because I just want to make sure that you make the most out of this call. I want you to pay very close attention to what I'm saying. And I want you to ask yourself, if I don't understand this, how is it that I'm seeing it? That's not really adding up to what I must be doing and who I need to be in order to have, the month's worth of discovery sessions, the 10K week, the 10K sale, whatever it is, wherever you're at. How is it that I'm not understanding this? Why am I saying that? okay? Because the other day I saw something on Facebook, which I thought was really interesting, about how, you know, people have a lot of free calls and they don't have any information in it, and it's just full of crap, and it's a pitch fest and all this other stuff. And it's true, you know, some events, you know, live events and live calls and, you know, webinars and all that stuff can be like that, okay? And others, like the one that I have planned for you today, are really actually delivering a lot of really good content, okay? I have put pretty much the entire of last year's worth of content into this. If you're listening, okay? So, okay, here's the thing. What I'm going to be delivering today is pretty advanced. And it's that way for a reason, because it's the combination of the entire of last year. I want you to get as much as you can out of this. So that if you have a question, I want you to ask. We have, you know, put some time aside at the end. You can already start typing your questions in the comment section below this, okay? I will have plenty of time to be able to go really deep and to be able to answer your questions, okay? But don't leave here saying that this was just another pitch fest, okay? Or that this was this, or that it was that, or whatever, without understanding, because you didn't ask a single question, okay? It's very easy to just say, oh, you know, this is that, and judge something, and, you know, and then stay exactly where you are, which is pretty much a pattern and a trap that we can set for ourselves. So you have time here. You have chosen to be here. You have chosen to spend this time with me, which I'm very grateful for, right? So make the most out of it. If you're not understanding something, I'm giving you a lot within the hour that we have here, right? If there's something that you don't understand, ask, because that's the only way that you're going to get the most out of this, right? But don't leave without really asking the question or getting a full understanding of what it is that you want. Otherwise, you get to stay exactly where you are, right? And that's safe. And believe me, I did that for a very long time. I had the same pattern where I would go to things and events and live events and all this other stuff, and I would just leave and be like, this is a bowl of crap, right? But I didn't ask any questions because it was safe for me to just stay in my little bubble and then to just judge the thing from the outside, right? So pay very close attention to what I'm going to be delivering. And if you don't understand something, then ask, okay? And now, one thing I do want to say is that I am going to announce towards the end 2 super, super juicy bonuses that I have for you. Everything that I do in terms of what I like sharing with the people that I work with my clients and all that stuff, is anything to save you time. So I have a super, super cool strategy, which I just put together within the last month, and it's the 30 days to wait list strategy, and I'm going to be sharing how you can get your hands on that towards the end. I am also going to be sharing with you how you can get your hands on the first 100K map out, like the planning session. I call it the 100K roadmap, which really what it does is like take all the guessing out of like, what should I do now? What should I do next? Or when should I be implementing this strategy? Or when should I be doing the telesummit? Or when should I be, you know, having my group program? When should I be having the e-courses as compared to private coaching and all that stuff? All of those things have a timeline. So I want to share with you exactly what that is, okay? And then, like I said, we have the Q&A. So the other thing is that after the Q&A, so if you read the email that I sent to you guys a couple of days ago, I would say, and if you, you know, read any of the posts and you came here just within the last few days, you know that I sent out a report that talked about how to fill your programs and how to, you know, get super, super targeted, you know, discovery sessions. Like, what is the strategy into all of that. And I want to share with you exactly what I do and how it relates to getting discovery sessions and all of that stuff. So that report, which is the 3 Facebook posts, 17 discovery sessions, 3 days, right? Report, you're going to get the entire breakdown of what that means and exactly how I use it, but you're only getting it after the Q&A. So you have to stay all the way till the end, because what I'm going to do is that only the people that showed up, so meaning you peeps that showed up live, will get that. Everybody else won't get that piece. I'm going to remove it from the recording. Okay, so that is for you, for showing up and for being here. Okay, so thank you for showing up, because I really appreciate it. What was it that I was going to say? It goes without saying, but not really. So I really do want to say that it does say a lot about you. Like I mentioned before, I had some technical difficulties last time. And if you're here, that means that you're committed to this. Like, you're really committed to really understanding how this works. Like, what exactly do you need to do, you know, to hit your 10K in your business, meaning per month, whether it's per month, per week, per sale, it doesn't matter, okay? You are committed, and you're committed to start this new year at the level that you want, and to really be committed to having the higher next level of your life's work, whatever that is, right? Working with ideal soul clients, not just anybody that's willing to pay you. That's also can be a pain in the ass and all that stuff. You want to work with the people that are really, really right for you and meant to work with you, okay? And fully valuing your gifts and, you know, being able to share with the world. So that's where you want to be. I mean, you want to have that kind of business that really does fulfill the initial intention that you had when you came in, right? Because I feel that a lot of people sort of lose the train of thought, right? So the initial idea was, oh, I want to have, you know, that 10K business, or I want to be working with this type of people, or I want to be having this kind of thing, and all of that. You kind of lose it because you get caught in the grind. And I really want to show you how you can get back into it without having to sacrifice anything, because that's the worst, when you feel like you have to sacrifice a part of you or a part of what you feel that you're meant to do here, in order to have that, you know, that big breakthrough. Okay, so this is where you are right now. You're probably discounting your services, okay? Or at least you're not charging what they're really worth, and you know it. There's a part of you that is very clear. I know that I should be charging more. That's one of the reasons why I'm not hitting the 10K a week, the 10K a month, whatever. But it feels almost impossible, because it's already difficult for you to have the kind of clients that you want. So for you to, on top of that, also be charging more, it just feels like, I can't do it, right? And you're working perhaps with people, some of them that are ecstatic to work with you, but some of them are not so thrilled to work with you, okay? That follow, they're not following the instructions that you give them. They're not really trusting you. They're not really getting the amazing results that they could be getting, because they're not doing the work, okay? And you want to really draw a line in the sand and say, I don't want to be working with these people anymore. I really want to be able to understand how to find the people that will be really thrilled and excited to work with me, that will respect me, that will value the work that we're doing together and all that stuff. Okay, you're probably really exhausted from trying to make your business work and understanding, and really, like, you're not understanding what is that thing that's missing to be able to get more discovery sessions, okay? What exactly is it that you need to do to be able to convert your people, not just anybody, but your people? And it's just taking too much time, too much energy, too much effort. It's pretty much like draining all of the life out of you. And it's part of the reason why you haven't been able to focus on your life's work, or on even having fun. You know, it's one of those things that it's really holding you back from living your best life. Okay, What you're not seeing is that you're getting on the phone, and out of the handful of people that actually do show up and say, yes, yes, I want to have a discovery session, most of them end up being, some of those free seekers, the window shoppers, and the eternal, I can afford it people, right? And it really starting to get you really frustrated because you're putting a lot of time and energy most of all, into these conversations, and nothing is really resulting out of it. And it's gonna be where you're just like, what is this? Like, why am I stuck in the same pattern? Like, why is this repeating itself over and over, right? What you would really like more than anything is to be able to attract your people, to have a full practice of your ideal soul clients, right? But what you're seeing is that there's something missing and you can't put your finger on it. There's something that's missing in being able to really sign up people and being able to have more discovery sessions with your ideal clients. There's something somewhere along the line that's missing and it's just not clicking, right? And I'm going to share with you today what exactly that looks like and why that's happening. Okay, you're ready. Okay, you're ready to make that 10K month, 10K week, 10K sale. And if that happened, you will feel like you could do anything, but it's still not happening. It's still not happening. There's something, like I said, that's missing. And as much as you set that intention at the beginning of the month and you actually say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, you end up falling short every time. And you've gotten sometimes very close and it's still not there. It's still not happening for some reason. Okay? And right now, above all, you're getting ready for January, right? You're getting ready for the best month of the year for any self-improvement business, all right? And you want to start your business in the new year with your highest month. Okay, you're revving up right now, you're setting your intentions, you're creating your plan, you're doing all this work, and you want to be able to hit the ground running. Okay, so that is what I'm going to share with you. And not just how to make it easy. I want to share with you how to make it elegant, okay? Because it doesn't have to be that difficult, okay? Now, why am I even doing this? Like, why am I setting time aside from my pseudo vacation? I did come down here to Florida for an event a couple days ago with my mentor, and then I'm staying here for the holidays, and I decided, I'm going to take some time out and bring this message to my community. Why did I decide to do that? Because I feel really strongly that there's something that's not really working, and most people are putting their attention on the wrong thing. Most people get stuck on the strategy, and the strategy can be easy. The strategy is not really difficult, but you can only execute with the right mindset and the right understanding of the strategy. For example, if you think that it will be hard, then even if you had something that feels like it would be the easiest thing and someone tells you, here, just do these 3 steps, you're going to find a way to make that thing hard. We make it hard in our heads instead of finding the solutions, okay? Because that's the way that we've been taught. That's the way that we've been raised, okay? That's the way that we've actually found success for our whole lives. So we actually, even though we conceptually can understand that someone tells you, hey, these 3 steps, do it, and you're going to get the results, you're going to find probably 20 steps under those 3 steps to make it even more difficult, because that's the only thing that you know. That's the only thing that you know, okay? So that's the only way that your mind can actually find the pattern to make that work, right? And to step back from that, if you actually look at your results, you'll understand exactly what's going on. You'll understand exactly where you're at. Always look at your results. I mean, they're their only real indicator as to whether you're moving or not. If you've stayed anywhere for 1 month in the same place and your intention was to move forward, and you actually took action to move forward, there's something that's happening. There's something that's happening that you're not understanding. There's something that's keeping you stuck, okay? Working hard, and that idea of working hard never helped anyone. And in fact, it's actually the easiest way to keep someone, you know, with an empty schedule or attracting the wrong people, which is what a lot of people that come to me, what they end up having, right? So why is this actually happening? Why do we have that mindset, that concept that's exactly how it needs to be? And why does this actually, no, like the question really is like, why does this actually happen? Like, why is this happening to you? And my answer is because it really always depends on what you're doing, okay? How diligent you're being and how focused, okay? If you're super focused and if you don't know, if you don't need more than just, if you're focused and you're actually understanding what you need to do and you're actually understanding the concept of it from the right mindset, you don't need more than 3 to 4 hours a day to have a business that leads to consistent 10K months, 10K weeks, and 10K sales. Okay, but if you're not, you end up doing a lot of the things that are distractions, okay? Which is why from my work, that is how I work with my clients. I help eliminate everything that doesn't need to be there. So to make it as simplistic as possible and then be able to support them with the mindset that will allow them to actually accept that it can be that simple, that it can be that elegant. But if you're stuck in the other level and with the other mindset, then that is exactly what you end up, you know, portraying your life. It's an illusion. It's an illusion to think that you'll be able to go to the next level and still be comfortable. And that's one of the things that tends to get people gets people stuck, because they're going to think, oh, I'm going to do this and it's going to be really easy and all this stuff. But, understand that there will be challenges with anything, because there's a certain level of growth that you need to go through in order for you to actually get to the next level. Okay. There's a lot of illusions and a lot of things that we tend to sort of create and make real in our lives that are actually keeping us stuck. So I really want to take that back and really, like remove all of the clouding and all of the murkiness and the beliefs that you have right now that are keeping you at that level, because that's something that can really, really become problematic when you're choosing to have some of these goals, especially for January, because it's right around the corner when we only have like, I guess like 9 days left. So let me check real quick the Q&A. I want to make sure that everybody's able to see me and hear me. And if you guys are here, say hi. There's so many people here. So true. Hi, Nika. Hi, Laura. I'm so focused on making things easy now. Yes, because we focus on the hard, on what's hard, and then that's the only thing that we can see, okay? So you need to focus on what's easy, okay, and what's elegant. And I think that a lot of people just don't know how to do that, or they don't understand how that can actually be when they're just so used to the other solution, right, being so difficult, okay? And to get back what I was talking about, it being comfortable. So the whole point of growing is that you need to grow in order to make more money, in order to have better clients, in order to be able to accept and receive those things into your life. It means that something must change, okay? Otherwise, you would already have those things. And that's something that people just don't get, okay? If you, at this particular moment, were able to receive those things, then you will have them. Just that simple, you have those things already. But because you don't, then you have to see there's something that's not working. There's something that I'm not understanding. There's something that I'm not doing. There's something that I'm not being that is preventing this from happening, okay? because the change always comes from you. It doesn't come from the outside at all. And in way of comfort, I was one of those people. I was totally one of those people. But let me tell you this, if you would have asked me even 1 year ago, if I was one of those people that just liked being comfortable, right? I would have told you, no freaking way. Because on the outside, I was working like an animal. Maybe not like a year ago, but maybe like a year and a half ago. I was working so hard, okay, spending 80 hours a week in front of my computer, trying to figure out what was working, even when I had mentors, okay? So this is not like because I had a mentor, everything was working great. No, even when I had mentors, I was still working that hard and all of that stuff, and I was getting nowhere. So looking at the results, like from the outside, it looked like, oh, wow, she's doing so much. But then from the inside, you know, and just looking at the results on the outside, you can see, no, nothing's happening. So look at your results. Look at your results. So what exactly, how was I trying to stay comfortable? Because obviously it wasn't comfortable for me to be working that hard and all of that stuff, right? I mean, I was working even harder than I was working when I was in corporate. If I was working that hard, how was that comfortable? Well, it was all I knew. It was all I knew. My whole life, I was used to working hard. I can tell you, all the way from kindergarten to my last corporate job. All the way, working hard. That's what was ingrained in my head. That's what my mom told me, my grandfather told me, everybody at school told me, oh, if you get the best grades, if you get this, if you get that, then, you know, you're going to do well. Again, external, right? Things external to me, not who I'm being, right? So the idea that it didn't have to be hard, that it didn't have to be so hard, didn't even register with me. Because it couldn't register. If you told me back then that it could be this easy, like what I'm doing now in my business, I would have mistrusted, perhaps. I don't know what I would have done actually, because I don't know, I can't really tap into exactly what I was back then, but maybe I would have mistrusted it. Maybe I would have thought that this was some sort of con, okay? Or I would have done it and then made it hard, like I said before, right? Have you ever done that? You know, where you actually get something and someone tells you, hey, just do this, and then you find like 20,000 other things to do with it just to make it so difficult. And then when someone else looks at it, it's like, what the hell are you doing? Like, just do this, right? I felt like I was eternally stuck in that same idea, right? Honestly, I was a professional at making things, making simple things into really difficult things. I was a professional at it. So yes, I was very damn comfortable. Okay, I was comfortable being there, working really, really, really hard. So when I was let go of my corporate job over 3 years ago, I had been making over 70K, okay? So you can imagine I was here in my whatever job. I was making 70K. I had very, very little expenses because I lived in a tiny apartment in Jersey City, New Jersey. I was saving a lot of money. I was in a great neighborhood. And honestly, my biggest worry at the time was just when and how and where I was going to get healthy food, which sometimes, you know, it's my big worry when I travel. But that was my biggest thing. That was the biggest worry in my life. And then I was let go and shit got real this fast. And I don't know if you've ever experienced that, where, you know, things are just moving along and then whoop, here we go. I didn't have a plan. And at that point, I was already building my business, right? So I was very grateful that they let me go, because I was like, yes, now I finally have time to actually dedicate to my business, right? But I didn't have a plan beyond making my business work. And I didn't even know how to do that. I think most of us were not born understanding like how to market things, right? I went from making 5K consistently, close to 5K or so, to zero. Okay. And I had to make things happen quickly, very quickly. Okay. And this is the trap. This is how the mind works. It's just so interesting. Okay. My way of making things happen, or the only way that I could actually understand to make things manifest and happen in my life, was by actually receiving the only way that I knew that I could receive. So I got another job. This time was a part-time job, doing something that I actually loved doing, but it was still a job. I was still working for someone else, and I was making just enough to survive. Okay. I've heard, because I'm in Facebook a lot, and I hear all those stories of people that, you know, they start their business and they go straight to 10K, 30K, 50K, woo, whatever K, right? I was not one of those people, okay? Some of my clients are those people, because I've had clients that go straight from, you know, 0 to 10K, 7,500, 12K, or even 15K in the first 30 to 60 days or so. In their business after working with me. I was not that person. I was not that. In my first year, I had $40,000 in debt. Yep. And about 5,500 of that were sales. So I made back out of the $40,000 that I invested in my business, only about 5,500. It took me 2 whole years to break through and start making 5K consistently. And about 2.5 years or so to make 10K consistently. I know the exact frustration, the exact frustration of what it's like to want to do something and to be stuck for what feels like forever, to overwork 80-hour weeks, to burn yourself out every time that you try to launch, to make every mistake in the book. I have come to face to face with the truth that I was half-assing it. I was actually doing, you know, just enough to get by. I was not putting the best of me. I was scared shitless to do my best, because what if I fail? And I was doing my best. And it was already showing me everywhere in my life. Like, there were like signs everywhere that it was not working. So why would I do my best? Why would I do my best if I know that everything is showing me that I'm, you know, that, this is not going to work? So that it could really be a failure? Because if not, then maybe I could hide it from myself, and I could be like, oh, it wasn't me. I didn't try hard enough, right? But that's what was happening. That really was what was happening. I was too damn comfortable in that space. Okay? So today my goal is to make it easier for you, because I've pretty much done every mistake that you could possibly imagine when it comes to it. And that's the reason why I can now get my clients to do things very quickly, within 30 to 60 days, in the time that, you know, when they're really committed, this is exactly the time that it takes them. Okay? Because like I said, I hate wasting time. I hate wasting time. And for me, the goal is to give you the essential pieces. Like, this is the core of everything that I've done over the last year, as when I've been teaching people this exact thing to move ahead. Okay? If you don't know what to do, you won't take the right actions. Okay? And the main point of got tongue tied. The main point of today is to change your perspective on what is happening for you, so that you can actually move through the pieces that are holding you back. Okay? So now we're finally getting to it. Yay! Let me see if there's any other questions that have come in, or anybody else saying hi. Hi, Laura. Hi, Nika. You're so cute, darling. Okay, awesome. There's so many more of you on the line. Say hi, you guys. I'm not gonna bite you, I promise. I like biting people, but I promise not to bite you. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to be talking about 4 main things in this call, and the 4 things that will get you results that you want in 60 minutes, like booking up to 17 discovery sessions and making 10K months, weeks, or even, sales, whatever you want. These are the things that I use with my own clients. These are the things that I use myself, and they make the biggest difference. So pay close attention. And again, like I said in the beginning, if there's something that you're not understanding, ask. Otherwise, you're going to leave here in the same spot that you came in, and there's gold within the time, that I'm going to be sharing with you. There's gold underneath all of this, okay? So ask your questions as they start coming. As you start wondering, like, how is this working for me? How would this happen and all that stuff? Just put them down in the comment section, okay? So the first step here is discover why the how behind getting 17 discovery sessions in 60 minutes is never just the strategy, okay? And how understanding this will permanently remove you from the mentor with lousy success rate box, and get you to start working with your ideal clients. Okay, so why is it not just a strategy? Okay, everybody wants strategy. Okay, so when I go online and I see people posting about this strategy or that strategy, everybody wants strategy. Okay, how do I do this? How do I do this? But I got 17 discovery sessions, and I get consistently over like 12, 13, 15, 17 discovery sessions every month in 60 minutes with my mindset. And I want you to think about this, okay? You don't need more than a Facebook post to sell discovery sessions, okay? And make no mistake, you have to sell discovery sessions, okay? And you do this through the mindset of how you're actually viewing discovery sessions to begin with, okay? How do you sell discovery sessions only to your ideal clients, okay? The people dying to work with you, that will cheer you on and do the work, okay? This is the mistake that I see all the time, where people are actually targeting towards the end rather than from the very beginning. And that means that your entire business has to be very, very, very specific, okay? This means you don't want to target your ideal soul clients, in the discovery session, like filter through them in the discovery session, which is what most people do. You want to target them from the very beginning, okay? From the Facebook post. And we're going to talk about the Facebook post today, right? Towards the end, okay? You need to do it all the way through, okay? The mindset really trickles down the entire way that you do your business. And it starts with a Facebook post or whatever it is that you're doing to market, right? So whether it's a Facebook ad, Facebook post, or whatever. I like Facebook posts because I like creating relationships in groups and things like that. But some people like Facebook ads. If it works for you, go right ahead, right? It starts with the Facebook post, then the webinar, then the discovery sessions, then the clients, then the awesome results. Because understand that this is the only way that you can actually have not only awesome results, but awesome testimonials and repeat clients, a full practice, consistent income, more time for you to actually develop your soul's work, your life's work. The only way that it happens if you actually understand the problem from the very beginning, and that comes with the mindset that you need to understand in order to be able to sell discovery sessions all the way through your entire business. Okay, so here's one way that this is something that happened just a little while ago. I was talking to one of my clients, and she had a hard time with one of the pieces in her business, and we talked about it and we addressed it from the mindset perspective. It was just a tweak, a very, very small tweak. And then she went on to book herself like 7 discovery sessions with 1 Facebook post in a row. This is like within a couple of days, really. It was so fast. And then she started booking back-to-back clients to her program. Okay. This is what it's about. It's always mindset. When you're finding yourself that you're stuck, this is one of the things that I see all the time. People go from strategy to strategy to strategy to strategy, but they're not understanding the thing that's causing them to go from strategy to strategy to strategy to strategy is the fact that they don't have the right mindset in place, and it's not allowing them to actually see what's going on underneath, right? It's the mindset. The mindset. You need the support in your mindset and being able to actually see things clearly for you to be able to move forward. Okay, so when you're actually seeing, this is something that my mentor calls cause and effect, which is one of the rules of the universe, right? And I'm sure that you've heard it, but most people think that the strategy would be the cause of the discovery sessions, but the strategy is not the cause. The cause is the mindset that's behind the strategy. So you always want to look for the cause, not the effect, right? But if you're treating the effect as a cause, it's actually causing the problems, okay? So when you're in this place that you're actually seeing this repeatedly happening in your business, and you're going from buying this course, buying that course, buying that course, buying that course, and you're not seeing the results that you want, you have to see, okay, there's something that I'm not seeing. If you're stuck, like I said before, anywhere, and you're actually trying to move forward for more than a month and there's something that you're not understanding, you need to understand that there's something that's hidden from your view. And until you actually know what that is, it's going to keep you stuck. Okay, so pay attention to that because it's very important. Okay, so let's go to step 2. The why behind why you are a walking magnet for I can afford it, it's too expensive, or the disappearing act, folks. Right? And what you can do to start actually bringing on and selling only to your on-the-spot yes clients. Okay, so here's the deal. We're always attracting people with these issues. If you're in that stage, and this used to happen to me all the time, like if you're in that stage of not being very clear with what you're doing in your business, you will end up attracting people with these issues that they're not your ideal clients. Okay, your ideal clients are also coming, in between, but they're very scarce. It's not that many of them. And this is why I find that focusing on your ideal client as the core of your entire business, the entire strategy, entire everything that you do is so important. Okay, it's absolutely essential. And I also find that because this is such a powerful thing, it tends to be one of those things that is really hard for us to figure out ourselves. Okay, I have never ever been able to figure out my ideal clients, and I've changed my ideal clients quite a few times, but I've never, the ones that have been successful, which have been over the last 1.5 years, never been able to figure them out by myself. Okay, we won't be shown that. It's so close to us that we just won't be shown it. Okay, because our subconscious mind blocks it from our view, even if we feel like we're so close. And this happened to me for about 6 months or so at one point. I felt, I'm so close, I'm so close, I'm so close, right? We can't see it. Others can see it, but we can't, okay? Because we, like, and this is why, I want to share with you exactly why this happens, okay? Because I think that it's very easy for me to just say that and then not explain it, but I want to explain it so that you can really feel what I'm talking about here. Understand this. So we master the levels before, but not the ones after. Okay, so we master the levels before, the levels that we've done and we've actually been able to have success in. We've mastered everything that came before, but not the things that come ahead, right? Obviously, because that's what we want and we're not there yet, right? We need help to get there. So whether it's a book, depending on what it is that you're trying to move ahead, just put yourself in the position of something that you want. Say that you want to lose weight, or you want to have more discovery sessions, or you want to find the love of your life, right? So we can master the things that came before because we know everything that came before. Okay, so we know all the mistakes, and we know all the successes, and we know all the things and the skills that we had because we've learned them already. So if it came to us to lose 5 pounds, it's very easy for us to put ourselves in the position of like, I know what it is like to lose 5 pounds. What I don't know perhaps is like what it takes to keep the 5 pounds off, right? Because it's not very difficult to do, but how do I keep it? Because I haven't been able to do that before. And that's the thing that you need support with. So put yourself in that perspective, okay? So if it comes to like, having a lot of the targeted quality discovery sessions, right? I know what came before. I can get discovery sessions, right? Maybe I can get 5 or 6 a month or so, but they're all, maybe like 3 out of the 5 or something are crap, right? Or maybe 4 out of the 5 are crap, and they're not leading to sales, or I end up working with people just for the money that are not the right clients for me, right? So just think about it that way. I feel that the reason why we do this is that we end up putting so much pressure on ourselves that we should know. And we should know how to do this. We should know how to understand how to do this. Like, right? Like we've been trying to do this for like 2 years. Why should we? Why should we know? Why should we know? Really understand that, okay? I live by a concept of the answer precedes the problem. This is one of the things that I like honestly live by, right? What is the answer here? And I sit with that for a second. I want to explain this to you a little bit more, and then maybe I'll go back and explain that a little bit more if you feel like you guys need it. But the answer always precedes the problem. That means, let me explain it now because it just came up. So for me, like if I want to go to the $50,000 a month or $80,000 a month or $90,000 a month level, I need to become that person first, become the person that charges at that level, and then I can step into that. The answer, like who I need to be, right, precedes the problem. That's the problem I want. That's the thing that I want, okay? So what is the answer here, okay? If you're the one that has the problem and you can't see it, why would you wait around for years trying to figure it out? Just tell me that. Answer yourself for yourself, for you. Answer this for you. Why would you wait around for years trying to figure it out? Why would someone knowingly do that? Why would someone do that to themselves? Now, what I've found is that it's typically some sort of excuse that we create for ourselves, that we made our reality, right? It typically revolves around, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't want to subconsciously affect a relationship in my life, that I feel that if I step into this or if I do this or whatever, it's going to be affected. Okay, it's typically one of those 3, right? And it's holding you from actually taking that next step. Like I said, the answer precedes the problem, and it starts with a decision. You have to make the decision first. You have to. If you come from any of those 3 places of need, like I need the money, I don't have it, I need more time, I don't have it, or I don't want to affect this, my partner, I don't want to affect my mom, I don't want to, I don't want them to think like I'm a bitch or I'm an asshole or whatever the deal is, right? Or that I'm like better than them or whatever it is, right? It starts with a decision. Okay, you have to make that decision first. You will always be stopped. You will always be stopped if you if you're become like, if your growth, your soul's development, your work here in the world becomes dependent on something else or someone else outside of you, you have to get the control back and make it yours. How are you doing this in your life right now? And if you're courageous, then answer that question for me. How are you allowing this in your life right now? How is this affecting your life right now? Okay. So to go back to the original point here, we master the levels that come before. That means that if you want to change and you want to start working with people and you haven't done it, then there's something missing there. Okay? There's something missing there. And because it is the ideal client, I don't necessarily think that this is the case for everything, but for the ideal client specifically, there's something that gets hidden from us. And I've never, ever been able to find that for myself. And I haven't met a single person that has been like, that's really successful, that has been able to find that for themselves. There's something that gets hidden from you because it's too close to us. Once you're able to actually step aside and allow that support in, whether it's from me or someone, I don't care where that comes from. I'm telling this to you for you. Then you're able to move forward when you can see it with clarity, because you have to have this piece in place, because like I said, this is one of the major things in the entire business. If you don't have this, it really blocks you. Let me tell you exactly how. So I have a client that I worked with, I've worked with for the last 2-3 months or whatever, and this is one of the pieces that I feel were the biggest issue for her. So she felt that she knew who her ideal client was. Let's just put it that way. And yet she was not making any money. Like, she was really struggling. And before working together, she was making a very, 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 very small amount per month. And even in the last, almost the entire year, she had made very, very little money. So pretty much she was told in her entire business, nothing was really happening. Okay. And once we actually touched on this and we got clear on this, it led to her in a mere 60 days almost fill her entire business to capacity. I think she has like 3 or 4 spots left at this point. And that, you know, with high-end prices, like, I'm not talking about like small little fees or anything. No, she went on and started selling like 4K and above in her business. And this something that she was charging about, you know, like 150, or I don't know what she was, like 197, something like that before. Really that fast. Because you're able to really understand that person, okay? So let's step into step 3. Translate what you do into the language of your ideal clients, which I guess I started talking about. The language that they are waiting to hear, so that you can pre-sell working with you before they even meet you. So before they even go to the discovery session, they will already be like, oh, this is the person for me. Okay? So here's how this works. When you're actually able to speak your ideal client's language and actually able to portray, to really explain and like communicate the value of what you do for them, you create urgency. And urgency comes from the desire that they actually have for that other thing. And sometimes it can be the desire to escape pain, or the desire to go towards something, you know, bigger for them. So it comes from 2 places, and depending on like who the ideal client is, it depends on like what actual, you know, language do you want to use, right? If you don't have the result, you don't have the urgency in place at this particular point for them. And then from your own perspective, it means that you haven't decided yet. And I'm not going to say more about that because I already just spent like the last week trying to explain to people what it means to actually make a decision, right? If you have questions about making a decision and understanding what is actually a decision or not, pretty much a decision is like when you make a decision, everything in the universe moves instantly to support you. If you don't have the results, and you haven't made the decision. And from the other perspective, if you don't have the results, then it means that you haven't been able to really communicate the urgency to your ideal clients yet, right? You haven't been able to tell them why they should be doing this now. If they're not seeing what you do, what you're offering as the most desirable, important thing for them, there's something missing there. There's something that you're not doing or something that you're not explaining, okay? We see, because here's the thing, we see what we believe, okay? And we learn from our own awareness. So there is something that you're not being, like you're not saying to them that they need to hear from their level of awareness, from what they believe, right? It's not from what you believe, it's from what they believe. And that is the language that you need to communicate in, okay? And it's all based on what you do. Okay, it's all based on the energy of what you do. This also means that the value is not really being communicated clearly. And so that means that, you know, there won't be enough urgency for them on their end to take action now. So something like what your skills and your, you know, your ability to demonstrate and all this stuff, like the things that you actually do for them, something like what you're offering can have such like high, amazing potential, but it doesn't work, like it's not working at the level that you want because of your being able to step into actually, you know, communicating and doing things in this way. Okay, so there's something that's missing in you at this particular point that is not allowing you to actually see that and see how you can communicate, okay? You haven't grown into accepting the value of what you offer, and that caps your income. It caps it. What does that mean? It caps your income. That means that, you know, if you're not able to really communicate the value of what you're doing for your ideal clients, then that means that they can't really be able to pay you what it's worth. So that's where I see a lot of people that come to me that are making 150, 197, 500, whatever the deal is, really low figures. And nothing's happening. So they can't, because they have to work so hard. Again, with the whole thing with working hard, right? You have to work so hard in order to make that even work. So you're stuck in a cycle over and over and over. So that's why when you understand the value, you can really raise the price to meet that value. And that's another thing that can be an instant, and I'm talking about instantaneous, to the point where I had one client, I don't know how long ago, but she was amazing, right? And she went from 500 to 5,000 in a day. So the day that we were actually able to talk about these things and talk about the value of what she offers, she went out that night, fast action taker, love those people. And she contacted someone who she thought would be perfect for her new program that we, you know, worked out. And then the person said yes, instantly, because she was finally able to really communicate the value of what she was doing, okay? I have clients and clients and clients and clients that raise their income. Like, I mean, on average, the clients that work with me increase their prices anything from 500% to 4,000% was the highest. That means working less for more. So if you're talking about less and the elegant solution, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, and this isn't being in full integrity, okay? This is not about, manipulating or conning someone or anything like that. It's about really being in integrity and in alignment with the value of what you're really doing. So why would you wait? Why would you wait to take action? Okay, so here's the last thing, because we're getting down the wire and I want to make sure that we do Q&A quickly. Okay, so how can you cross 6 figures? How can you cross a 6 figures thing off your 2016 list by starting your January with a full schedule filled with clients that you will love working with and never be embarrassed about your results ever again? So let me go back to the comments, the comment that I made at the very beginning that I heard from someone about free calls, right? So here's the deal. If you have something that will help, if I have something that will help you shrink the timeline from years to under 90 days, wouldn't I do it? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I talk about it? Why wouldn't I share that with you? Why would I hide this from you when it would be something that would really, really, really benefit you? Why would I do that, right? So this is what happens, and this is the way that you can actually check that thing off your list finally. You ask for help. There's something that's missing. There's something that you're not getting. There's something that, is going on with you right now and you're not understanding it. Then the universe responds with an opportunity, but you don't like the answer. Okay? Because something needs to change and it makes you uncomfortable. This is how it works every time, every single time. And sometimes it's not always in a conscious way, right? So it's almost like it feels uncomfortable. It's like, okay, consciously, of course, I want this. I want to make the change. I want to go to the next level. I want to, move forward and all that stuff. But it feels like almost like something is crawling in your skin and you're like itching, like something that just doesn't feel right. And it's not that it's not right. It just doesn't feel like your subconscious mind is actually making you feel like you want to claw your skin out. Okay. Things are going haywire, your life, your relationships, everything is all over the place. Why? Because you made a decision. And because that has been your experience in the past, you learn to avoid changes. And I mean, you learn because this is subconscious. Okay, every time that you actually want to move to the next level, you're actually questioning, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to do that. But this is the only thing that helps you move. This is how the universe communicates. You're asking for help. It's sending you help. And you're saying, no, I don't want to. Okay? And I know that a lot of you are very, very intuitive. Okay? So was I when I started. Been very intuitive my whole life. And I was following my intuition. But let me ask you something. How does that make any sense? Because your intuitions are based on your feelings, and you can't trust your feelings. Because your feelings are coming from your subconscious mind, and it's really tricking you a lot of the time. You cannot trust your emotions until you control your emotions. This is something that I learned from my mentor. The only thing that you can really trust is that decision. And what follows, what I do is I just follow the process. I make the decision, I commit, And then I succeed. I take the action that leads to that success, depending on like where the universe is showing me that the opportunity is coming from. Because a lot of people want to just think themselves into, you know, manifesting things and all of that stuff. And I'm all for the feminine way of doing things, but you also have to have the masculine way. And action is at a vibration also. And in my book, I feel that action is at a higher vibration. Taking action is at a higher vibration because it's really showing that you are willing to step over the fears, the worries, and all of that, and become that person. Be that person that can have that success. Okay, so here, let me show you one last little example from one of my clients. So one of my clients just signed up with me a little over a month ago, and in her first month, she did over 7,500. And prior, she had done 0 online. Okay, an opportunity came, and she said yes, even if it wasn't comfortable. Right? Nothing had worked not to break this, you know, pattern that she had of like not being able to do this online. And yet she did it. She knew she needed to try, and now she's doing great. Yes, you're doing great. Because she's on the line, so that's why I'm saying that. Amazing. Amazing. Most people can't even see that in their entire year. In their entire year. But the typical excuses come up. I don't have the time, I don't have the money, you know, I don't want to, you know, upset someone. And that one's more unconscious. So keep an eye on that, because that one actually tends to show up in the most interesting ways. Like who you're trying to tiptoe around, all of that stuff, where you're hiding things from. Just look at those things, because those are real. Okay? But why are they excuses? When you know that you can create such a big change. The only way that you can overcome these excuses is to focus less on the problem and more on the solution, okay? January is around the corner. You want to be set up for them, because this is the best time of the year for anybody in this type of business, you guys. Like, you have to have it done, and you have to have it done quickly. Like, you don't want to be waiting around for like the entire year trying to figure out like what the hell to do again, right? The time is now. Are you focusing on the results, or are you going to be focusing on, you know, the problems again? Okay? It's very important. If you're focusing on those things that are holding you back, it's never going to happen. So here's how someone else can help you. Or at least this is the best way that I know to help someone from my perspective as a mentor. What I do is to give clarity, to give you clarity, so that you can actually solve your own damn problem. And I say it like that because I won't solve it for you. I can't solve it for you. When I tell people this, they run away scared. Okay? I got an email from someone a little while ago, and they were like, oh, how is working with you going to solve my problem? Like, how are you different? I'm like, I'm not. It won't. It won't solve your problem. And I want you to think about this for a moment. And the reason that I'm saying this, obviously, I want to, you know, like the easiest way to tell you, like, oh, sign up with me, is to tell you, oh, solve all your problems. It's not the truth. And it won't happen from anybody. Because I want you to think about this. It has to come from you. It doesn't. If you don't grow, it doesn't. The change doesn't happen if you don't grow. Okay, you need that growth in order to receive that change and to receive that income at the higher level and to become that person that makes that income. If it doesn't, it's not your success. And yes, I know that you're scared that it's going to be hard, and this is the reason why I didn't do it for such a long time. For 2 years, I was holding myself back, staying comfortable, even though comfortable for me looked like hell, right? And yet that was easier than actually me fully committing to myself and saying, I believe in me. I believe in me all the way. I'm going to bet on me. I'm not going to bet on someone else. I'm going to bet on me, okay? What is really hard about all of this is staying in the same place and busting your ass day in and day out and still feeling like you're not getting anywhere. That's hard. That's the hard part. So here's what I want to do. I want to invite you, because I only have about 10 sessions of this before, especially before the new year. Okay. I saw this question. I saw this question pop up just a little while before the event happened, right? Would you invest $100 to make $1,200? And I said, of course. Well, duh, that seems only reasonable, right? And it sounds freaking awesome, right? Because that means like 1,200% more, like, or whatever the math is. I'm not good with math, right? I thought, yes, of course. My question to you is, would you invest 60 minutes of your time on something that has the potential to save you years? Would you do that? Would you be willing to do that? Because I have an 100K soul print planning mapping session that I want to invite you to, okay? And I want to share with you exactly what I'm going to give you in those sessions. I want to help you discover why your first 100K are already in your business and in you. Again, this is coming from you, not from someone else and something else. It's already there, waiting for you to finally see it, okay? We talked about this. This is what helps your clients see the urgency too, okay? But you first have to find it in you, and I'm going to help you find it, get the clarity around that. Then I'm going to help you see who exactly is the voice behind your empty schedule, less than perfect clients, consistently tripping you over every time that you get on the 100K track, right? Which really means that you have to identify who you're speaking to. Okay, what voice you're using in order to be able to shift this so that you can speak the voice of your ideal clients, the ones that they want to hear, not yours, theirs, their voice. And I also want to help you make January 2016 your very best month ever. So I want to get you on track so that you can actually hit 6 figures even before summer vacation. So, okay, so get on track now. Like I said before, on average, my clients, they increase their prices from $500 to $4,000. They get it quickly. They save time. The ones that are kicking ass right now, like, it's just so awesome. They're like in 30 to 60 days, huge breakthroughs in their business, okay? So I want to help you do that. If you apply also for the soul print planning session, you'll have the bonuses. And here's what I want to say about the bonuses, because I know that I didn't share before, and then we'll get to Q&A, okay? I want to give you the 30-day to waitlist strategy, which is my full business strategy. This is everything that I do, that my clients do, and this is everything that causes miracles and shrinks the timeline, okay? I'm going to give it to you all at once, and this is the reason why. I want you to actually create shifts right away. I want you to actually start working on it right away. So if you end up working with me, whether that's good for you or not, you'll get access to this, and this is like typically $3,000 value, because that's what my clients pay in order to get that strategy. Okay. The second one is the planning, the 100K roadmap. So what to do, when, what, step by step, so that you never feel like, and this is goal oriented, not time oriented. So it doesn't mean next year we're going to do, no, this is going to be based on goals. You can go as quickly or slow as you want, however you want to do it. And this typically is like $1,500 when I do it with my clients. Like, this is a 90-minute session, me and you privately, that goes really, really deeply into exactly what we need to do, okay? So that you're never questioning, like, what do I need to do next, okay? You'll have the step-by-step plan of the entire thing, okay? And then the last thing is that my team is going to set up the entire launch strategy for you. So you don't have to be worried about the technology and all that stuff. Nobody is doing this for their clients that I know, okay? And the reason why I do this is because I like saving you time, okay? I like helping you focus on the most important things, the things that you need to be doing, not the things that someone else can do or a VA can do or whatever. I have my team do it for you so that you can actually do this for yourself. And typically that is about $1,000 or so. So total value of bonuses of $5,500, all priceless really, if you count the time that it will save you, because that's the thing that I am more interested in. So here's how you can apply. You can apply by going to the box that's below this video, and you should have that. If you don't have that right away, you'll have that in like the next couple of minutes, okay? So there's a box right underneath the video below this where you can actually just click on it and go directly to the page so that you can apply for it. Now, Q&A time, and then after that, I'm going to be talking about the other stuff. Okay. Ooh, sorry. Let's see, I have some questions here. How can I become the woman who makes a 10K if I cannot afford the lifestyle and I have to set up the systems and create the content? Awesome question, because there's so much in this. Oh my God, thank you. Elvia Gonzalez, ooh, I love that. Half of my family's name is Gonzalez. So here's the thing. First of all, you never want to create the content. And you definitely do not want to be spending a lot of your time setting up your systems before you don't even have clients, okay? You do it as you go along. And that's one of the things that I typically tell my clients in the 100K mapping planning session. Not the mapping planning session, the 100K roadmap. Because this is one of the things that people get backwards. They feel like they need to create their programs first and then sell them. No, you want to sell them first and then create them, okay? Because that way you're never, ever, ever wasting time, okay? And the woman that makes 10K has nothing to do with the lifestyle. Nothing to do with the lifestyle of someone that does that. It's who you're being at a core level. So that means like how you're actually portraying yourself, the environments and the people that you have around you. And it has nothing to do with money. I personally believe, because that when I started doing that, I was actually spending a lot of my time in like hotels, hotel lobbies and stuff, and I would just like go and hang out there, and I would be doing a lot of other things of that nature that had nothing to do with me spending any money. I was just putting myself in a different environment. I was thinking differently. It's typically more having to do with the mindset than anything else. And that is something that a lot of the times you won't be able to see yourself. And unfortunately, you know, the reason why I was able to get there so quickly is because I had my mentor that was actually able to help me see like how it was I not acting like the woman that already made 10K, and then to start shifting things as quickly as I wanted to. And honestly, like once I started working on the whole 10K plan, it took me like 2-3 months total to hit 10K. It was very, very fast. So how can you do it? Through your mindset, through the way that you're thinking, through not actually believing your eyes, but actually believing the truth. Okay, the truth is that there's abundance there, and that your clients are there, and that everything that you need for you to have the lifestyle and the 10K business that you want is already there. But you're believing in the outside circumstances more than you're believing in that truth. And that is preventing you from actually being able to become that woman. That woman that makes that amount does not believe in the lack. She does not believe in the lack. Okay, you're believing in the lack and that it's not there, and that's what's preventing you from being able to be that person. So I have Laura here. She's saying, I'm letting my work depend on my clients being ready and saying yes. Yeah, that's the answer precedes the problem. You make the rules in your business, my love. You make the rules in your business. I'm not going to let anything or anybody stop me from actually doing the work that I'm meant to be doing. Nothing is going to stop me. If someone says no, someone else will say yes. Like, I'm not going to be stuck in that illusion. This is the same thing of like believing the reality rather than the truth, right? I believe in the truth. The truth is that my clients have to be there. I'm not going to stop myself because the reality is that someone said no. I don't care that they said no. I'm going to go to the next person and then they're going to say yes, right? And that's what you need to actually start seeing. Always believe the truth, not the reality. The reality will always lie to you, right? Any other questions? There's still plenty of you on the line. Let's see. And then if not, then I'm going to go into the next step. Okay, I'm going to go into the next one. And then if you guys have more questions, because I want to share with you about what I do with my posts and that free gift that I share with you guys. And then I'll be answering the questions for the people that have it. But then the rest of it is going to be removed from view. So if you have any other questions and you want it to stay in the video so that you remember it, then ask it now before I go into that next step. This is why I asked you guys like to be writing the questions down as we went along, because I knew that I sometimes I let the time fall away from me when I get really excited about this stuff. So I'm not seeing any other questions. If you guys still have any questions, please ask after. Okay, so in the replay, this is going to be where we're going to shut it off, and then the next step is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys right now. It's just going to be really quick because this is not very difficult. I'm going to share with you this. Okay, so you received this thing right here that is showing you the free gift, pretty much. This is the report that I shared with you guys and giving you a little bit of a breakdown of the I'm coming up blank. Okay, so I gave you the report, and this is pretty much how I set up my posts in order to attract hundreds of people into my events. Okay, so here is the deal with this. When you're writing a post, it has less to do with a strategy. Again, with the strategy of how to actually set it up. So how do you start is very important, you know, but the content in between and all of that stuff, it's dependent on pretty much two those, okay? But I want to share with you exactly some of the pieces that I have in here first, and then I'm going to share with you exactly what those two pieces are, okay? And it's two general pieces, and then the third piece, which is very obvious. So you always want to have an attention-grabbing title that holds a promise of some kind, right? You want to be speaking to one person. This is the ideal soul client that we talked about before. The attention-grabbing title will always be speaking also to the one person that you're speaking to, your ideal soul client, okay? So that means that the entire post will always be referring to one person with one particular problem at one particular point in their life, Okay, so this is where I find that a lot of people start attracting the wrong people to discovery sessions and the wrong people to their events and the wrong people in general in their business, because they're actually not being very clear to who it is that they're speaking to. And that is preventing them from having and reaching the amount of people that they could, that are quality, highly targeted people, okay? And so you have things like tell them why they're here, and you know, why they are where they are, why do they want this, you know, what exactly they're going to get out of this. You tell them even more of, like, you know, what they're, like I said, what are they going to get out of this, a desire to capture their attention even more, right? Then you give them, you fulfill that promise. You always want to fulfill that promise. And sometimes the promise that you're fulfilling is a call to action to the next promise, which is what we have over here. Then we have the links. Now, let me give you, and obviously the attention grabbing image. So let me give you a very, very clear breakdown of why, if you have just the strategies, this doesn't work. Because, again, you need the ideal client. You need to know the person that who you're speaking to. You need to know and be very specific about what it is that you're doing for them in a way that is so specific that they feel like this is exactly what I need right now. This is exactly what I need right now. So things like reach more ideal clients in 60 minutes, have easier sales conversations from pre-sold clients. These are all things that I help my clients do. And that's how I speak in my posts. I'm always talking about what I do to them so that they can actually connect and find it irresistible for them. Because they will always find it irresistible if it feels like it's made for them. And I always speak in that voice that makes it irresistible for them. They have to do it. And then the last thing is obviously a little bit of the strategy, right? You always want to have like a little bit of a structure. So you want the title, okay? And you want to create some sort of connection. In this post, this is not as clear, but in this post, it is very clear because I am speaking in terms of a story. I am actually creating connection, all right? In terms of a story. Over here, I'm saying it took me 2 whole years to break through and start making 5K consistently in my business and all of that stuff. So no, I was not one of those people that went straight to 10K and beyond in 3 months or 30 days or whatever the deal is. I wasn't, right? I'm telling them, I'm like you. I'm exactly like you. This has nothing to do with where you are right now or where you've been. This has to do with where you want to go. And I'm speaking directly to them in this particular way so that I can actually capture their attention. Okay, even more. I fulfill the promise. I share the links, right? So that they can actually go. And this post, like as you saw in the report, there were only 3 posts. 3 posts that led over 150 people to go in and sign up. Other months when I've done this, I've had over 250 people sign up. Okay? Why? Because I'm speaking directly to one person. I am speaking directly about the things that they need. I'm creating an urgency for them, communicating in the language that they can hear, right? Speaking from what I do for them, right? Not for what someone else does for them or what they can get generally, specifically what they're going to get, right? And then I have obviously, you know, the links and the title and all that stuff that actually creates the entire breakdown of the post. And it works great, and it works great every single time to bring hundreds of people. Now, how does this relate to what we were just talking about, the discovery sessions? These are the people that were already being pre-sold from the post, right? So the posts that you create for your ideal clients, they will already start creating that connection. They will already start pre-selling what you do for them by speaking directly to them. And then when they come to your event and they come to your discovery session or whatever session you have. I have the 100K soul print mapping session. Then they're going to see whether this is really what they felt was, in alignment for them, or whether it's not, right? And that's how you start bringing more targeted people. It starts from the very beginning. This is how it starts, because this allows hundreds of people to go into your event. And then from there, you can actually bring them into your discovery session. Or you can go straight and do one of these posts that I do many, many times, and where I have one of these posts with the same strategy, so to speak, and it's going directly into a discovery session with me. That works really great as well. Okay, so I hope that answered the question for you. The idea here is you don't need more than 3 posts to have that many discovery sessions in 60 minutes. And I posted 1 post each day for 3 days, and it led to hundreds of people signing up. Okay, and I've done this time and time and time again. Why does it work? Because it's that specific, because it has the ideal client, it has a very, very clear sense of urgency, communicating the value of what you offer and all that stuff. And it also has a very simple strategy, which is the foundation of everything that I do. Okay, so let me stop sharing this with you guys. Awesome. So let me see if there's any more questions for this. Okay. It's still going. Okay, I think I have 2 more questions. Okay. Laura says, I'm still getting this. Thanks, sister. You're welcome, Laura. Okay, so, and then Elvia says, I have tried some of my programs prior to have them completely ready, but then I'm stressed, in a hurry, trying to put together the materials, and I think it looks not professional and disappoint clients. What do you suggest to avoid this when selling before being ready? You don't have typically when that's happening is because you don't have the right strategy in terms of your programs. So creating an offer is also an art, and that's something, one of the things that I actually do with my clients, that is, it's one of the things that actually tends to trip people up a lot. Like, how do I actually convey not only the value, but how do I organize it in a way that really does create the results? And really does communicate the full, the fact that it is a high value offer and all that stuff. And that's the fact that typically, if there's an issue, there's an issue with how you're actually creating the programs. And it has nothing to do with selling them prior. It also probably has to do with the fact that you're probably trying to do too much in terms of what you're putting in your programs, or what exactly you're doing for your programs. Meaning that, why are you even creating materials for your programs? And that kind of thing. Like I, especially if you're under 10K, I wouldn't be doing programs yet. Anybody that's over 10K can, this is where that session that I share with you guys, the 100K roadmap session, is very beneficial, because you don't want to be selling programs that are group programs before you're 10K, before you're under 10K. And I'll give that to you, because it creates a level of stress that is not necessary. If you're doing those programs, then that means that you're already setting yourself up for stress, overwhelm, and again, like disappointing clients and not feeling professional. Why don't you work with more? And this is where, the 100K Soul Print Planning session, the discovery session, would be really, really beneficial for you, because I want to see exactly what you're doing, because there's probably a lot of things that you're doing in addition to what you just shared with me that is not working in your business, and that is actually hiding it from you, making you think that you're actually doing the right thing, but it's not working at this level right now, okay? This is one of the problems that I encounter all the time, where people are doing the things out of whack, like out of order, and it's not helping them at all to get the results that they want. You want to be able to do things in order, in the right order, okay? So any other questions? Because otherwise I will go. I'm already over time. I had planned 90 minutes for this. I don't see any other questions. Okay, I'm gonna stay another more seconds and see if you guys ask anything else, take advantage. And again, I want to just stress out that if you've been stuck like in any way for a long period of time, and you're not willing to invest 60 minutes of your time, like to be able to do something that will potentially save you years, I would ask yourself, why not? Why are you not willing to do this? I have had clients that came out of my discovery session not working with me, and that still had life-changing transformations. I received an email from someone just this week where she said the session that we had completely changed the direction of my life. And this is like nothing to do with business. Right? So, and this not diminishing like what you're actually getting in terms of your business, because really understanding and having the clarity to see what it is that's there that you're not understanding, and why it is that you've been at the same place for a really long time is extremely valuable. And I would say, if you're not doing it, really, really ask yourself why. Like, why am I not taking advantage of this? Okay, you should be, all of you, going down and scheduling that session so that you can get the support that you need, especially before the new year. I don't know, I don't want, like, this is the most important time in your business. Like, take advantage of it. The opportunities are showing up. Like, why are you not taking advantage of it? Really, really consider that for yourself. Why not? Why am I not doing this? Okay, and let me check the thing to see if there's any other questions. And then I will end if there's no others. There's one more question. Yay, I love questions. You're welcome, Elvia. So the deal with that is that it's always in an order. And this is what I had to find the hard way. I was doing things, and let me tell you tiny little bit about my story. When I started my business, the second coach that I had was a $17,000 coach, right? She was like really advanced, and she was, you know, doing really great and all that stuff. And she gave me a lot of strategies that have everything to do with people that were like 2 years ahead of me. So I tried to make the strategies work, but I wasn't in the right mindset. I didn't understand what I was doing, and everything took like 10 times longer, and it didn't work for my business because it wasn't the right strategy for me at that particular time. I ended up running a telesummit for 3 months, like doing all of the marketing and everything myself, because I didn't have money to hire people, right? And then running the telesummit and getting 150 people on my list and 0 clients, because I was doing the wrong strategy at the wrong time. This is one of the things that keeps people stuck for the longest time. Okay, if you're in that space where you actually feel like things are not working and you're actually doing it, you know, maybe going like 1 step forward but then 2 steps back, it's typically due to the fact that there's something going on with a strategy that's not working. Okay, you definitely want to focus on the strategy that will work for you now. And if you don't know how to get to 10K, then that's something that we can review in the soul planning session, okay? Because this is one of the things that, like I said, keeps people stuck for years in the same place and trying really hard to do something that just does not work. You need one strategy and only one strategy that is, you know, part of the whole that I do for the very beginning until you hit 10K, and then you move to the next level. And there's another strategy after that. So there's like a strategy, like the whole entire plan for, you know, 100K that tells you exactly when to do what. But if you're doing things out of order, it will keep you stuck and keep you in the same place for a long time, for years sometimes. Okay, so that's what's going on typically. Let's see if there's anything else, and then I will end. Okay, the comment sections are hidden from me. I don't know what's going on with lead pages. Come on, lead pages. Ah, there we go. I usually do not apply for discovery sessions because I'm afraid of wasting the coach time if I don't join her program. Okay, so the deal is that you're like, oh, okay, I'm not going to try and see if what I need is there. And I won't even, how would you know if you're wasting their time if you don't know if you're going to work with them or not and what they have is exactly what you need? So you're putting the problem before the answer, and the answer precedes the problem. Like, you need to be taking the action first and then figuring out how, like making the decision first and then figuring out how it's going to work, if it's going to work for you. Not everybody's meant to work with someone else, okay? But if you're always thinking with, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't know who I'm going to screw up if I do this, right? Or I'm afraid of wasting the coach's time, right? You're already putting a huge block in front of you and your success. So it will never, like, you will never be able to meet those rules, like, really, until like ever. Because you'll always be afraid to waste the coach's time, and you will never know if they're the right coach for you until you actually go. So that doesn't make any sense to me. And I have gone on discovery sessions with coaches that I don't feel right for me. And there's something in me that is just not telling me yes. But when I say yes, and most of the time, I don't know if you know my story, Elvia, but up until recently, I invested in every single coach without having the money. I say yes, and then I figure out what the hell the money's going to come from. I have never, ever had the money for the coaches, ever. I always felt like I didn't have the money. I made that decision first, and then I chose to create the money. That's the only way that it works. That's how the universe works. The decision comes first. It always comes first. Okay? So I hear you, and I know that, you know, this is something that's very ingrained in us. Like, you know, let's be nice and not waste people's time and all that stuff. But you have to think about what would be the best thing for your business. You know, if you're more interested in the success of your business and you're more interested in really finding the right coach for you, then I would say focus on that. That's the main priority there. Like, clean up the intention behind what you're doing. Okay? All right. Okay, guys. That's it. No more questions. I don't see anything else coming through. And this is where I said at the very beginning, you know, if you I hope that none of you are leaving with questions, because this is the most important thing, being able to get your answers right away so that you can then know, whether, like, what would be the next step. But if you leave here and just saying, oh, this was just another whatever, then nothing really changes. Always leave with the answers. So I hope that you guys have an amazing day. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I did my best by you and gave you as much as I could in this time. Now, the next step for you would be to apply for a discovery session. The soul print mapping planning session with me will give you the level of clarity that you don't have right now, will help you to see how you need to get to your 100K, like how you can do that within the first 6 months of your business from January until June. And it will help you see how it's already there in your business. So it's not about trying to figure out to do something else. It's about what's already there, what you can already use, and about seeing it in a different way so that you can actually move forward without having it be so damn hard. Okay, let's make this easy. Let's make this beautiful. And I will see you guys very soon. Good luck. Again, the button for that is below. And if you guys have any questions, email me back from one of the emails. If you weren't able to ask a question, I'd be very happy to support you. Sending you all my love. Really, thank you so much for joining me today. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.